In the vast and intricate tapestry of life, there exists a truly remarkable strategy for survival. It is a process that powers nearly every ecosystem on our planet, a quiet miracle happening all around us, every single moment of the day. This is the world of autotrophy, a term that simply means self-feeding. Unlike animals, which must hunt or forage for their meals, autotrophs are nature's ingenious chefs. They possess the extraordinary ability to create their own nourishment from the most basic of ingredients. They do not need to consume other living things to gain energy. This fundamental capability is the very bedrock upon which the Great Pyramid of Life is built, a foundation of self-sufficiency that has shaped our world in profound ways. Imagine a world without these self-sustaining organisms. It would be a barren place, devoid of the lush greenery and vibrant life we know. Autotrophy is the engine of productivity. It captures raw, non-living energy, primarily from our sun, and converts it into a form that other living things can use. This process, known as photosynthesis, is a form of chemical magic. It takes simple substances like water, carbon dioxide from the air, and the golden energy of sunlight, and transforms them into sugars, the very fuel of life. This remarkable conversion from inanimate to animate energy is what allows life to flourish, to expand, and to diversify into the breathtaking spectacle we see today across every continent and ocean. The importance of this process cannot be overstated. Every blade of grass, every towering tree, every tiny speck of algae in the ocean is a miniature factory, working tirelessly to produce the energy that sustains it. And in doing so, they provide the sustenance for almost everything else. The herbivore that grazes on the plains, the carnivore that preys upon the herbivore, and even the decomposers that return nutrients to the soil, all ultimately depend on the energy originally captured by these autotrophs. It is a chain of dependence that begins with this simple yet elegant act of creating food from light. This is the grand design of self-sustenance, the starting point for all the planet's magnificent food webs. When we look closely at a plant, we are witnessing this incredible process in action. Its leaves are perfectly designed solar panels, angled to catch the maximum amount of sunlight. Its roots are like straws, drawing water and essential minerals up from the earth. And the air itself provides the carbon, the fundamental building block for the sugars it creates. This elegant system is a testament to the efficiency of evolution. It is a quiet, constant, and life-giving performance that unfolds in every forest, every meadow, and every sunlit patch of water. The story of life on Earth is, in many ways, the story of autotrophy and its transformative power. To understand the origins of this life-giving process, we must travel back in time, billions of years, to a very different Earth. The early planet was a volatile place, with a thick atmosphere and oceans rich in dissolved minerals, but lacking the oxygen we breathe today. Life existed, but it was simple, microbial, and confined to the water. The first life forms were likely heterotrophs, consuming the organic molecules that had formed in this primordial soup. But this was an unsustainable existence. As these resources dwindled, a new strategy was needed for life to continue its journey. A revolutionary adaptation was on the horizon, one that would change the course of evolution forever. The first autotrophs were not the complex plants we see today. They were humble, single-celled bacteria. Living in the ancient seas, some of these microbes evolved a truly groundbreaking ability. They developed pigments capable of capturing the energy contained within sunlight. These were the first photosynthesizers. Among the most significant of these early pioneers were organisms called cyanobacteria. These tiny life forms, sometimes known as blue-green algae, began to harness solar power on a massive scale. They used water as a source for electrons in their photosynthetic process, a pivotal innovation that had a momentous side effect: the release of oxygen as a waste product. This was a turning point for our planet. For hundreds of millions of years, these tiny cyanobacteria worked tirelessly in the sunlit oceans. They pumped vast quantities of oxygen into the water and eventually into the atmosphere. This event, known as the Great Oxidation Event, was perhaps the most significant environmental change in Earth's history. And it was all driven by these microscopic autotrophs. The world was being terraformed from the inside out. The new, oxygen-rich air was toxic to many of the planet's early inhabitants, leading to a mass extinction. But it also opened the door for new, more complex forms of life to evolve, life that could use this oxygen to breathe. The legacy of these ancient bacteria lives on within the very cells of modern plants. The chloroplasts, the tiny green structures inside plant cells where photosynthesis occurs, are believed to be the descendants of cyanobacteria. According to the theory of endosymbiosis, a larger, more complex cell engulfed one of these photosynthetic bacteria long ago. Instead of being digested, the bacterium formed a partnership with its host cell, providing it with food from sunlight in exchange for shelter and raw materials. This ancient alliance gave rise to the entire plant kingdom, a direct lineage stretching back to that first spark of photosynthetic life in the primeval oceans. While we often associate autotrophy with the great forests and grasslands of the land, the world of self-feeders is far more diverse and widespread than one might imagine. It extends from the sunlit surface of the oceans to the darkest depths of the seafloor, and even to some of the most extreme environments on Earth. The most familiar examples, of course, are the plants. From the tiniest moss clinging to a damp stone to the colossal redwood trees that touch the sky, all are masters of photosynthesis. They form the structural and energetic backbone of terrestrial ecosystems, providing shelter, food, and the very air that land animals, including ourselves, depend upon for survival. But beneath the waves of the world's oceans, another vast community of autotrophs is hard at work. Here, the dominant producers are not large plants, but microscopic algae and phytoplankton. These single-celled organisms drift in the upper, sunlit layers of the water, forming the base of marine food webs. Despite their minuscule size, their collective impact is immense. Phytoplankton are responsible for producing at least half of the Earth's oxygen. Every second breath we take comes from these unseen ocean drifters. They are the pastures of the sea, grazed upon by countless tiny animals, which in turn feed fish, whales, and seabirds in a complex and beautiful dance of life. Even more surprising are the autotrophs that thrive in complete darkness, far from the sun's reach. In the crushing pressure and eternal night of the deep sea, life clusters around hydrothermal vents. These are fissures in the ocean floor that spew out superheated water rich in chemicals like hydrogen sulfide. Here, a different kind of autotrophy takes place, chemosynthesis. Instead of using light energy, specialized bacteria and archaea harness chemical energy from the vent fluids to produce their own food. These chemosynthetic microbes form the base of a unique ecosystem, supporting giant tube worms, ghostly white crabs, and other creatures that have never seen the sun. This incredible diversity shows that life finds a way, adapting the fundamental principle of self-feeding to suit vastly different environments. We see autotrophs in the form of lichens, a symbiotic partnership between a fungus and an alga, or cyanobacterium, that can colonize bare rock in the harshest of climates. We find them as colorful mats of bacteria in the boiling hot springs of Yellowstone. Whether through the power of light or the energy of chemicals, these organisms are the ultimate survivors. They are the primary producers, the silent, tireless workers that take the raw, inorganic materials of our planet and weave them into the fabric of life itself. The emergence of autotrophy was not merely an evolutionary innovation, it was the event that sculpted the world into the living planet we inhabit today. Its impact is so profound that it is woven into the very geology and atmosphere of our home. Before the rise of photosynthesis, Earth's atmosphere was a suffocating mix of gases like methane, ammonia, and carbon dioxide. It was the slow, persistent work of countless generations of cyanobacteria that fundamentally transformed this environment. By releasing oxygen as a byproduct of their metabolism, they gradually changed the sky from a hazy orange to the clear, vibrant blue we see above us. This atmospheric transformation had cascading effects across the globe. The presence of free oxygen allowed for the formation of the ozone layer, a protective shield in the upper atmosphere that filters out much of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. This shield was crucial, as it made the surface of the land a much safer place for life to colonize. Without the ozone layer, life may have remained confined to the protective depths of the oceans. The autotrophs, in their quest for energy, had inadvertently created the conditions necessary for life to conquer the continents, paving the way for the evolution of forests, terrestrial animals, and eventually, humankind. Furthermore, autotrophs act as the planet's lungs, regulating the global climate. Through photosynthesis, plants and algae continuously draw carbon dioxide, a potent greenhouse gas, out of the atmosphere. They lock this carbon away in their own tissues, in the wood of trees, in the soil, and in the sediments of the deep ocean. This process has played a critical role in moderating Earth's temperature over geological timescales, helping to maintain a climate stable enough for complex life to thrive. The great forests and the vast blooms of ocean phytoplankton are not just features of our world. They are active participants in its climate system, a global thermostat built from living cells. In the end, the story of autotrophy is the story of how life learned to sustain itself, and in doing so, transformed a barren rock into a living, breathing world. From the first microbe that captured a photon of light to the great forests that regulate our air, these self-feeding organisms are the foundation of it all. They connected the planet to its star, creating a continuous flow of energy that fuels the magnificent diversity of life on Earth. Every ecosystem, every creature, every breath we take is a testament to the power of this ancient and enduring marvel of nature. The world as we know it is a gift from the autotrophs.